Imagine this. No Adolf Hitler, no Nazi Germany, no Pearl Harbor, no D-Day, no atomic bombs dropping on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now picture a world where the deadliest conflict in human history, World War II, never happened. How different would our lives be today? Would the internet even exist? Would we be living under the rule of empires? Would America still be a superpower? Or would humanity actually be worse off without the massive changes the war brought? Today, we were diving deep into one of the greatest other possibilities in history. When World War II never happened. Grab your seat, because this isn't just history, it's a journey into an alternate timeline where everything we know might look completely different. Without World War II, the global balance of power would have taken a very different path. The United States might never have become the global superpower it is today. Remember, before the war, America was more focused inward. It wasn't until World War II that the US became the arsenal of democracy and later, the leader of the free world. Without the war, Europe would remain the center of power much longer. The British Empire might still control vast colonies. France could hold on to its overseas territories, and Japan, without defeat, could rise as an industrial and technological powerhouse across Asia. But here's the twist: without World War II, there might not be a Cold War. No US versus Soviet Union arms race. No nuclear standoffs. That sounds peaceful, right? But it could also mean slower progress in science, technology, and even space exploration. Here's where things get really interesting. World War II forced humanity to innovate at lightning speed. Radar, jet engines, antibiotics, rocketry, nuclear energy, and even early computers, all accelerated by wartime necessity. No World War II, that timeline slows down. Computers might arrive decades later. Space exploration might not happen until far into the 21st century. And nuclear energy, possibly delayed indefinitely. That means maybe no internet yet, no smartphones, no satellites. Can you believe living in the 1970s today? But here's a strange paradox. Without the pressure of war, science could have taken a different path. Instead of bombs and weapons, maybe more focus would go into medicine, agriculture, and clean energy. Could we actually be living in a greener, healthier world today? Or just a slower one? World War II didn't just change politics and technology, it reshaped society. Think about women. Before the war, women were rarely in industrial jobs, but during World War II, millions entered the workforce, paving the way for gender equality movements. Without that push, women's rights might have been delayed by decades. Civil rights too. African American soldiers returning from the war demanded equality after serving their country. Without the war, the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s might never have gained momentum so quickly. And pop culture. So much of our movies, comics, and even music was shaped by the war. Superman fighting Nazis, movies about D-Day. Even the birth of rock and roll was indirectly tied to post-war cultural shifts. A world without World War II could mean a world without the cultural revolutions that define us today. Now let's imagine our current world map. Without World War II, Germany might still be a major power, but not necessarily Nazi-led, since Hitler's rise was fueled by the chaos after World War I. The Soviet Union might spread communism at a slower pace without the US to oppose them. Colonial empires could survive much longer, meaning many countries in Africa and Asia might still be under foreign rule even today. And the United Nations? It wouldn't exist. That means fewer global institutions to handle crises. Could that lead to more wars or fewer? Here's the ultimate irony. While World War II caused unimaginable suffering, it also forced the collapse of old empires, gave birth to new nations, and set the stage for the modern world order. Without it, we might be living in a world that feels familiar, but strangely frozen in time. So here's the million-dollar question. Would humanity actually be better off without World War II? Sure, over 70 million lives would have been saved. That alone is reason enough to wish it never happened. But would we trade that for slower progress, for delayed rights, weaker medicine, no internet, no space travel? History is messy, and sometimes progress comes at the darkest costs. Maybe our alternate timeline would be more peaceful, or maybe we'd still be waiting for the breakthroughs that define our modern lives. So, what do you think? Would a world without World War II be a paradise of peace, or a boring, stagnant planet stuck in the past? And hey, if you just time traveled from that alternate reality to watch this video, do us a favor, hit that like button before the butterfly effect erases this channel from existence. Subscribe for more mind-bending, other possibilities adventures, because the future is full of possibilities, and we're exploring them all, one video at a time. Thanks for watching, and remember, history isn't just about the past, it's about every possible future we can imagine.